Hello and welcome to the Hotkeys podcast, your shortcut to various opinions on all things pop culture. I am your host for this week, David Parker, and joining me is...
Landon Browning.
And...
Colby Chapman.
This is the episode for the week of April the 12th, 2023.
Colby, you're here.
I'm here. I'm live.
Colby
you're
is here
Spokane
live.
With me.
Michael is sick, and Will is studying, I think. So
question mark.
So
probably playing video games.
I think he's playing Genshin Impact. I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing.
Yep.
But Colby is in Memphis, I think, doing this podcast from a seedy motel in the outskirts of. Oh no, you're not in Memphis. You're in Mississippi. I'm sorry.
No, I am in Memphis right now, actually.
Wait, you're back in Memphis?
Yeah.
What are you doing there, Colby?
I am here for work. So flew into Memphis earlier this week, drove down, hit a couple of the big cities in Mississippi, Starkville, Tupelo, Booneville, the big three, really. And I've got a flight to catch in the morning, so I'm back in Memphis.
I know of Jackson, Mississippi, because that's the capital, and so I know that from the capital song, and I don't know many other cities or towns in Mississippi, other than the ones that Colby just taught us about.
I was going to say, you know three more now. So,
But you got some good food there, correct?
Yeah. I actually just got back probably an hour ago to the hotel room. Went out and had some authentic Memphis barbecue food. It was incredible. Like,
how many different kinds of meats did you get, or did you just do one?
No, I did two. I did pulled pork and smoked brisket.
I think pulled pork is one of the staples for Memphis barbecue. When Bree and I drove through, we went to this place, and one of the things we got, I was telling you guys before we started recording that we got way too much barbecue for two people for one night. But one of the things we got that was almost like in addition to our barbecue was an entire like one of those styrofoam takeout boxes, like one of the big ones of barbecue pork nachos.
What?
And it was some of the best food I'd ever had.
I'm so hungry. I haven't eeten yet.
Wait, really?
No, I haven't eaten yet.
We'll make this a quick episode for you, Landon, so that you can eat your rice and beans or whatever you're gonna have for dinner.
I'm gonna make a cheeseburger. So.
Oh, you had a cheeseburger earlier this week, didn't you?
Yeah, I had it. Yeah, so I bought a pound of hamburger meat. I ate a bunch of it first burger, so now I gotta eat up the rest of it before it goes bad.
I'm too lazy to make hamburgers out of ground beef. When I get ground beef, I make other things. I'll make tacos or other beef dishes that I just I don't like having to form the burger because I'm too lazy to do that.
I buy patties.
It takes 5 seconds. It doesn't take that much.
If I make burgers, I just get the the fresh pre-made patties.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
that's what I do too.
I'm not gonna lie. That seems out of character for you.
I know. I'm
actually kind of disappointed. I feel like you're off script.
No, I've done it before. Okay, I've done it before. But I don't like the feeling also of ground beef on my fingers.
Oh yeah, nobody likes that feeling.
Yeah, but I feel like I dislike it more than most.
I actually don't think you know how to make burgers either, because when we were in Long Beach, you got grill duty. And
no, those were frozen patties that I was assigned burger duty at the last minute. I didn't do any of the preparation. They threw all this crap at me, and I had never used a grill before. I made burgers at home, on a cast iron skillet. I had never made burgers on a grill, let alone frozen patties that were not thawed. Okay. They were still frozen. So.
Hey, man, we believe you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Landon's trying to clown on me, I know how to make burgers, but not I
have a great picture of Dave and I in front of the barbecue, us both trying to cook the burgers at Long Beach.
Well, and my grandfather was there, worried that we weren't gonna toast his buns. That's not a euphemism. But I think he came out probably 4 or 5 or 6 times, and he was like, "Don't forget to toast the buns." We're like. We got it, man.
I do. I will say that is an important step, because you want a little. I think you want a little crisp to the bun to help keep it from getting too soggy, quickly, with the condiments and the juices and stuff.
I actually don't usually use buns when I do hamburgers. I just use tortillas.
Really?
No.
Okay, I'm about to lose it. The one I made yesterday was it was way too big and like messy because I did like 2 quarter-pound patties, so it was like a half a pound of hamburger.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then I did ham also on the burger, and I did like is it Munster cheese? Munster cheese, grilled onions, ketchup, and lettuce. And this thing like fell apart within like, I mean, the amount of bun to like the amount of goodies in there, like it kind of turned into like a mess like super quickly. I hate it all. Like,
I like homemade burgers. Like don't get me wrong, burgers are one of those things where like I really like certain burgers out that it's like I usually don't make it at home just because like I'd rather make something else because there's a lot of like home cooking that I like better than restaurant food. Burgers for the most part, I prefer like burgers out of the house. But maybe that's just
I'm mostly doing it. I probably haven't made burgers at home in like probably over a year, maybe longer. So I was like, I think I was just trying to mix it up because I've been like.
I mean, no, I get it. Every once in a while, like I'll get the itch, and then I'll make burgers at home. But Bree also isn't a huge burger fan, so.
And then it's like I have the leftover meat, and it's like half a pound of hamburger meat. Like I don't know, like.
So with one person, do you make half of the thing, and then do you make one huge burger, or do you make two burgers? Oh, it was one huge burger, right?
It was one huge burger. I'm not going to do that tonight because it sounds like
too much.
It felt. I'm not gonna lie. It felt a little gluttonous. Like it was like just a massive. You know what I mean? Like it's making a mess everywhere. You know, like I had fries with it. Like tonight's gonna be.
I'm so full that like you were describing that burger, and it actually kind of made me sick.
I also ate like just before this, so I'm not hungry either.
Yeah. This one's gonna be just 1 quarter-pound patty, and then I think I'm gonna do like a fried egg and cheese, and then like just grilled onions and lettuce, a little bit smaller, and then I'm probably just gonna have Tim's jalapeno kettle cooked chips with it.
Ooh,
made by your good friend Tim.
Yep, my good friend Tim. He sends me 1 bag per day. I eat them all.
That would be insane.
That explains so much.
Hey. Fit Landon's back. Fit Landon is back. My fitness goal. I already have the abs for the cruise. So
yeah, I was wrong.
Hey,
I lost the
you
bet.
were wrong.
It's crazy.
Yep.
None of this.
He got his abs and
just another bet one for me. So Dave now doesn't get to go on the cruise. So where I will reveal my abs. Where I will reveal my abs to everybody else. Dave does not get to see them because he didn't get to go on the cruise. So
they're just like painted on with like a brown Sharpie.
Yeah.
I have been working out though, like almost every day for like going on like close to a week straight. So
what do you do? Like what's your regimen?
I do 2 push-ups.
Dude, that's 2 more than I did today. So
I've been doing 10 pull-ups, 20 crunches, 30 push-ups, and then like this 15-minute cardio workout. So
nice.
It's not like that much, but like I feel like it's enough that it's a start.
Well,
you just do it at your house, right?
Yep, I just do it. I have like a pull-up bar and an elliptical machine. So I just mostly want to get in the routine of actually doing something every day. Like I'm not trying to like go crazy. I just want to get in like a habit of.
Well, once you get in the routine too, like it's way easier to start expanding from there.
Yeah.
The hardest part is getting yourself
starting
to do it.
and consistently doing it.
Yeah. But I think I've done it. I think I might have missed one day on like the weekend, but I've pretty much consistently done it like probably 8 out of the last 10 days. So I want to get to like where I'm doing it like every single day without like any like misses.
I've consistently, I think, eaten candy probably the last like 7 days. So
I have also during this week I've eaten an entire bag of like sour Skittles.
How big is the bag?
It wasn't actually that big. It was like probably
24 ounces.
All in all.
Yeah.
No, it was. I think it was like all in all. I think it said like 5 or 6 servings at like 100 calories a serving. So like,
it's not
600
bad.
calories of Skittles in like the past 4 or 5 days. So
that's fine.
And I ate Arby's for lunch today also. So I'm not healthy by any stretch.
They have the meats.
They do.
Yeah, they sure do. I feel like I've been eating like trash recently.
Well, I feel like with your job, it's like really hard to like eat healthy.
Well, like it's funny because like I stay at these hotels, right, and they all have a fitness center, and then it's like usually like more of like a healthier option to when you go out to eat. The healthier options I feel like are typically more expensive. Like I don't know. For some reason, I feel like these days it's harder to eat healthier than it is to just like grab fast food or something.
I mean, you're getting your meals comped though, right? Like they're not.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so I always tell myself like, oh, this is going to be a healthy trip, you know. And now it's day 3 in Memphis and Mississippi, and it's like I just gorged myself at this barbecue place to the point where I feel so sick.
Well, was that yesterday or today that you sent the picture of the fried catfish?
That was today.
That looked so good.
Yeah, that looked amazing.
It was incredible. Also, I feel like this might just be like a southern thing, but the portion sizes here are insane. They're
big.
So huge.
They're big.
I have not finished a meal.
They know how to live.
I've not finished a meal all week.
They know how to live.
So
well, it's also like I mean, you're not just traveling to the same places. Like I feel like most of your trips you're going to like new locations, so there's like always a new tasty place to try. So like, how are you supposed to like? It's not like
so hard.
Yeah.
Imagine if Colby's job just sent him like to Sprague, Washington every like other weekend.
On the weekend too. I mean, they sent me to Texas like 6 times in a row.
But I mean, still, like, there's so many places probably that you've never, you know what I mean?
I actually ate everywhere in Texas. So.
Every place.
Did you get Whataburger when you were there?
I did, yeah.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I had it actually a couple times.
Oh, nice.
I really need to. I want to. Man, I want to try more of the classic burger play. I still think Shake Shack's my favorite.
Shake Shack is really good.
We got like some pepper burger there, like some spicy pepper.
Yeah,
the red.
I think that's the only thing I ever get there because it's so.
Yeah,
good.
I got that like the first time I ate there, and I'm like, this
else.
is like probably the best thing I've ever eaten. So like, I'm not even gonna try anything else. Like,
yeah, we really should have let Landon eat before we recorded the podcast, Colby.
I like talking about food. Colby and I had a very thought-provoking conversation today. I think I might quit my job and try to. So we were talking about raising. We were talking about Raising Cane's chicken.
I have a Raising Cane's cup right here.
Oh, so there are
600.
There's a.
I don't believe you. That's okay. Real quick before you go on your tangent, Landon, that's another thing. Is the sweet tea down here is going to be the death of me because it's just diabetes in a cup, but it's so good. It's been 3 days. I think I've had about a gallon of sweet tea in those 3 days.
Colby's like, I don't drink soda. That's not healthy. He's like chugging the Southern sweet tea.
Well, I think so. I have to order. I order like half and half. I want half unsweet, half sweet, and it's still like so sweet. And today, I sit down at the restaurant. I'm like, oh, like, can I get a tea? And she brings out a quart. I'm not like she just brings out this giant cup, and it's already in a to-go cup too. Like it was, yeah. Anyway, Landon, go ahead and continue with Raising Cane's.
So I've discovered there are 600 Raising Cane's locations in the United States, and I'm thinking about for 2024. If I quit my job, I want to see if I can visit every location in a year.
What, like 2 a day?
I think I could do it. It's a lot. 2 a day, and I get like their smallest meal at each time, and I hit 2, and I eat Raising Cane's for like breakfast or like lunch and dinner every day for a year.
Dude, they're smallest meal.
And I document this, and I make this. I bring Dave with me, and we make a documentary about it. And it's like my spiral into like hating, like, you know what I mean? Because by like day 30, you probably hate Raising Cane's like a passion, like. But you're still eating the chicken like the tote, like, you know what I mean? You're filming it, and like you're trying to put on this act. But like, I feel like this could be like my moment.
I support this decision.
This could be like
I initially was thinking this is a horrible idea, but the more I think about it, I think this is a winning plan.
I think we could sell it to HBO Max, and we could, you know.
Plus, you get to travel. Like that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, travel over, like, yeah, and it would start out as like this fun, loving, like, you know, like, and then like it's like the madness like descends. Like it's like we're like there's a month left and we still have like, you know, 90 locations.
We're just at each other's throats constantly.
Yeah, you're like, eat the chicken. I'm like, I can't do it.
If you like,
pretend it's a McChicken,
like the smallest.
We start having to get like SUVs at the rental car places because I can't fit into a compact car anymore. Like
the Miata won't hold him.
Yeah, I can't.
That's
one thing I thought.
If you ordered the
get this camera out of my face.
you would average like 1,800 chicken tenders per year.
Yeah,
dude. Somewhere Will just like his ears just like perked up.
Yeah, chicken tendies.
Wait, so how many glasses of milk does Will consume in that year?
This is one thing I thought about before, that like being like Guy Fieri, like one of those people who travels around and just eats out, is like got to be like probably a dream job, right?
Hey man, like, yeah, but like, I mean, like Anthony Bourdain had that job kind of too, and like,
well, but he was like a troubled chef also, though, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, I don't think it was the nature of his work that depressed him, because I think people in all walks of life sometimes kill themselves, Landon, not just stuff. Food travel critics. Yeah. So, what else are you getting to do there besides work, Colby? Do you get to do anything else fun or exciting?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of get to do like whatever I want, really. Like, as long as I get my work done, nobody cares what I do. This trip in particular, I have I've really just eaten food. That's kind of been my experience.
That is a legitimate hobby in the South, okay? Like, you don't have to feel ashamed of doing that with your free time.
Like, it actually is. It is like, I don't even know. Like, I guess I don't know. There was stuff I wanted to do here in Memphis. My trips are like a week long. I could have had all day tomorrow to go through Memphis and just kind of explore, do whatever I want, see what I wanted.
Go to Graceland?
Yeah. And instead, I decided to bump my flight up and just go home early so that I can start my weekend on a Thursday. That's just because I was feeling lazy. Other trips, just kind of depending on where I am, I'll do cool stuff. Like I like going to beaches a lot. So I was in Houston, went to Galveston Beach.
I was going to say, the beaches of Tupelo.
Yeah.
Well, you've gotten to go to sporting games too, right? Like,
yeah. I've been to a Mavericks game. I went to Baltimore and just drove to Washington, D.C. for the day. So saw the National Mall, went through, looked at all of these cool historic sites, monuments, the White House, and then went and watched the Washington Capitals game. So, yeah, I get to do a lot of cool stuff, actually, that I'm probably just taking for granted.
I mean, it doesn't. It sounds like you're appreciating it, though.
Yeah, well, you just made me feel bad for bumping my flight up, Dave. So,
well, I just like you said you did it because you're lazy, but like to me, like that is the opposite of like lazy is keeping your current plans and not going through the trouble of like changing a schedule. So like
you're saving your company money by flying back.
That is true. Like they save money.
And that's why Colby made this decision, because he's a company man.
I am a company man, first and foremost. They save money. Also, I get a longer weekend. Like everybody wins.
Also, I mean, you're probably gonna be at this job for like, I mean, you don't have any plans on leaving like ever, right? So.
Yeah, no.
So you're probably gonna end up all these. You know what I mean? Like you're young, so you're gonna probably fly to a bunch of these places a lot. So you're gonna have. Like,
yeah, I've had this job for 7 or 8 months now. I was tallying it up the other day, including DC. So like it's not a state, but you know, like the District of Columbia. I've been I know what DC stands 13. Okay. I've been to 13 states. I guess 12 states and the capital, but that's just through 8 months. Plus like repeating, I've been to, like I said, like Texas, like 6 or 7 times.
Did you go to Dallas?
This includes
time?
No, I went to Dallas 4 times, Houston twice.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I don't really have like complaints. I was going in January and February when it was, you know, like 30 degrees in Boise. And so I like get to go to Texas, and only one time was it colder in Texas than it was at home.
Well, that's when you had to drive to OKC, right?
I was so mad. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to go to Dallas because it's really cold here at home. And then I get there, and everybody, like, I get to the grocery store where I'm supposed to do my work, and like, dude, it's panicked. I don't even know how to describe it. It looked like it was being looted almost. And I was like, what is going on? And I'm trying to find a manager, and she's like, no, not today. Come back tomorrow. And I was like, whoa, okay. So I go to the next store, and again, like people are just going crazy. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I wake up the next morning to like, I don't know, like a 1/4 inch of snow on the ground, and everything is shut down. I mean, like restaurants, stores, they shut down the McDonald's, man. This was in like just kind of the outskirts of Fort Worth.
But were the Waffle Houses? Wait, is there a Waffle House in Dallas?
Yeah, there is.
Were they open? Like that? That's
yes, they were open.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a real
state of emergency.
Yeah, state of emergency.
Yeah, but yeah. So then the airport shut down. I wake up. I'm supposed to fly out Thursday. I think I was supposed to fly out like Thursday afternoon. And I get Wednesday. I think it was Tuesday. Actually, sorry. I wake up and I get like this alert from Delta, and they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, your flight's been canceled." And I'm like, "That's like 2 days out. What do you mean it's been canceled?" So I call them and I'm like, "Hey, like, when am I going to be able to go home?" They're like, "Oh, we don't really know. Like, we can rebook you a flight for Saturday." And I was like, "Well, like, can you guarantee that flight's going to take off on Saturday? Because I can't just, spend the rest of my life here." And they were like, "Sir, at this point, anything is possible." I was like, "All right, that's all I needed to know." So then I'm like frantically calling, calling people within my company, like trying to like get my flight rebooked. And so I had to drive up to Oklahoma City and take a Southwest flight at like 10 p.m. It was quite the ordeal, but now it's a decent story. So
what's the next place you'll get to go to then that you haven't yet been to for work?
Nashville.
I have not been.
Yeah.
That's for a fun thing too, right? That's not even like...
Yeah, that's kind of just like a company retreat. It's slow right now. Like as far as like trips go, this is like the slow season. It's going to pick up in the summer.
I was going to say summer, it probably gets really busy, right?
Yeah, so they decided to create kind of like a retreat for like our small subdivision in the company. And so we're all going to go to Nashville and just kind of like
is anyone else going to be there that we both know?
Landon's dad is going to be there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know.
He was talking about me. He's like it's gonna be super. He's like, it's gonna be super weird that I might be hanging out with Colby for like 4 days. It's like,
dude, your dad's a hater.
Like in a good way. Like he's like, yeah, it's just like funny because like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably hard on him to watch me surpass the success of his own son.
Yeah.
It's such a short amount of time.
It is disappointing for him. Like he really.
Landon, super unsuccessful Browning.
Yeah.
That's what we call him.
I failed.
When you
he had to return his Miata.
I just call him Rise.
Well, that's like he let me sit in on the decision process when they were deciding between me and you, and he's like, "I would really love to hire my son, but Colby's just clearly more qualified for the job." And
yep.
Then
and he's not the only one to see that.
And then he looked at me and he said, "You better not cry." And I failed him again. So.
He said, "Colby's my son now."
Yeah, I work with Landon's dad. In case that was not clear. So.
I think we talked about that, right? Like,
I don't know
if we have actually.
I've only been on the show a handful of times since I got this job.
But
I think we've glazed over that.
Colby is Landon's dad's supervisor, which makes Colby Landon's step boss. So it's kind of weird, but the power dynamics of our friends have really shifted quite a bit the last year. But I think it's all, we all agree it's for the better.
Yeah. So, basically, when all the Safeway stuff, when I went to Safeway, Colby and another former coworker of ours and friend of Colby's and mine, like both kind of ended up where my dad works. So
and
so I told Colby,
as you can tell by my stories, it's been sweet. So
yeah.
Actually, Landon, if I have anything to do with it, you will never get a job where I work.
Landon's like, but I made your career, and Colby's like, I don't care.
Yeah, you were mean to me a couple times, so
Hey, I helped. I was mean, but I helped you.
It's called character building, Colby.
Yeah, it's character development.
Yeah,
it's learning through adversity.
Character development doesn't wipe away the tears in the mirror, and do this.
The money does. That's what the money's for. I would say you have an objectively cool job.
Yeah, any job that you get paid to fly to places, I think is a cool job in my book.
I think that's really just like the coolest part about it is just getting to see all of these different places that, let's be honest, like I would never make it to. I don't think like I'm not going to be able to. If I
You're not making it out to
I don't think I'll be
Tupelo
able to
just like
go
for
see-
your like Memorial Day vacation
right, right.
with the family and the
I will
boat.
say, I am actually like quite surprised at how beautiful northern Mississippi actually is. I feel like I bought into some hateful propaganda a few years back or something because I had some low expectations and I was wrong. So
I really enjoyed our Bria and my road trip we did through the South. We essentially hit most of the southern states. We did Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. And then we did some other states too, but I don't think they're necessarily considered southern states. But for the most part, I enjoyed every state that we were in, and they all had some cool things, some great food, like cool sites. We visited like a lot of neat museums. And we went at a good time of the year too, where it wasn't too like hot and humid. So even the weather wasn't very bad at any of the places we went. But it was really pretty, like really green, almost there's not a lot of like mountains in some of those states, which is kind of eh. So it kind of has like some like Midwest vibes in that sense. But there's like some good hills and stuff over there, and like the Mississippi River, if you've ever like driven down it or driven across it, like it is like a sight to behold. Like there's certain portions of it that are like miles wide, and it's really cool. When we drove down to Louisiana, we essentially just drove following the Mississippi for a huge portion of that drive, and it was really cool. But like Memphis is right there on the Mississippi River. That's if you have time, Colby, you can go to the the Bass Pro Shop that looks like the pyramids.
Dang it, dude! My flight leaves in like 7 hours. Dang it!
Yeah, it's a Bass Pro Shop. It's like right on the banks of the river, and it's just this huge Bass Pro Shop that looks like one of the Great Pyramids. It is wild in there too. I thought that was
in Nashville.
No.
Dang it.
That's Memphis. Bria and I, like on our day that we were going to leave Memphis, we were like, why don't we just stop in because it's so interesting? And so we went in there and we spent probably like 3 hours in that place because they had like a museum in there and like big shops and everything. And I think it's like a hotel also.
I'm so angry right now.
I was expecting it to be like kind of cheesy, and it was, but like it was kind of like Vegas cheesy in a sense, where like it's like high quality, in a lot of sense, like they don't hold back with spectacle. So
I've always said Memphis is the new Vegas. So.
That's what we all say, you know. It's the people call Branson, Missouri, the Vegas of the South. No, it's the Bass Pro Shop in Memphis. Well, I'm excited that you're getting to like go to all these places and stuff, and I'm excited to hear more about some of the other places you go. So, because if I can't travel right now, I like to live vicariously through other people who are traveling. You know, the food doesn't taste as good that way, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, I think if like enough people want, I can just live stream my entire weeks of travel.
Could you just always have your video open in Discord, and so we can just like check in on you?
Here I'm at the Walmart in whatever Starksville. Pretty different. It's like
taking a poop in a gas station, like just outside Boonville.
I would not poop in the gas stations outside of Boonville if I were you.
Oh no.
Why not, Colby? I thought you said that the South was like okay in your book now.
Oh yeah, no, I love
just not the gas stations.
Yeah, I would just steer clear unless it's a Love's.
Oh, Love's are nice, or a Buc-ee's in Texas.
Oh,
I want to go to Buc-ee's so bad.
That was culture shock for me.
Buc-ee's
I walked
is
in
something else.
I walked in and was just shocked. Like I didn't really know there was home decor. Like they, you know what I mean? Like they had like live, laugh, Buc-ee's signs. Like
live, laugh, Buck.
Yeah, they were also. And then they would sell.
I would hang that at my house.
They'd sell like Buc-ee's merch. Like Landon would definitely leave for the T-shirt.
I bought Buc-ee's underwear. Bree and I bought like matching boxers.
Yes.
So sometimes like on the weekends we'll go like it's a Buc-ee's day, and then we'll coordinate.
Yeah.
We'll coordinate. For those who don't know,
Yeah.
Buc-ee's is a gas station chain that's I think only in Texas and maybe some parts of Oklahoma, and they are like you know how like Walmart supercenters in comparison to like Targets that came out in like the 90s or 80s. It's like that. It's like a gas station supercenter. They have so much stuff, and like the amount of pumps they have for gas like feels unreal. Like it seems like a gas station you'd see like in a Wall-E movie that like, oh, this is like what led to like the destruction of mankind.
How many we talking?
Yeah.
Like hundreds. It feels / looks like. You
It's
should
actually
pull up like a satellite image of a Buc-ee's, and then you'll understand. You're like, oh, it's the size of like a Walmart.
I love how different parts of the like country have like these like iconic gas stations that like match with them.
It's funny because one of the things that I am actually like kind of hoping to see is the world's largest truck stop. I think that's in Iowa.
It's probably a Casey's, right? Like
There are some big
no
truck
idea.
stops in Iowa.
because Casey's is kind of like the Iowa's like their like gas station brand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They like brag about their pizza or whatever, which I had their breakfast pizza. It was pretty good.
You said it was meh, right?
It was pretty good. I thought it was,
it was?
I ate probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 slices one morning. So
That checks out.
it's gotta be good enough to, and I had leftovers like another day. So
You don't have to lie and say they were leftovers. We know you just finished it in one sitting.
I
Like,
ate it all. Ate it all. Yeah.
well, now I'm getting the itch to like travel or go on another road trip. I haven't gone on a road trip
I
probably in like a few
go
months. So
I want to go on a vacation.
Few
Like,
months. I'm itching for a trip. I
I want to go on like a friend's
on a road
trip.
I'd be down. Hey, I still have like a month and a half without Bree. So if I like do really bad at my job, maybe they'll fire me, and then I'll have no excuse to not go on a trip.
I could probably get
except for
time
the
off.
dog. If I kill the dog
you can
and
do it.
get fired, then
That's 2 legs on my parlay. So.
what's the third? We go on a road trip to like North Dakota.
I'll go on a road
Colby,
trip. So
or Jordan's like, no, not Jordan. Landon. Landon's like, oh, I had South Dakota.
I could probably get time off. I have like decent amount of PTO saved up, and the only thing I'm planning on using it for is the cruise.
Which
so
is in
I could do a
November.
small trip. Yeah, I could do and I'll probably have accrued another good chunk by then. So
Dude, I
would definitely be down
to
to do.
With
I
certain
would do a
people.
road trip.
Yeah.
I would do.
I love road trips.
I would do a
asterisk.
I would do a road trip, or I would just fly to some random city in the U.S. and just explore for like 4 or
we
5
should
days.
we should just like
Plan
we
this,
each pick.
actually
Well,
do it.
we should each pick a city, and then just like it's assigned with like a number or something, and then roll a die, and that's just where we go.
What's a city
I'm game.
Landon wouldn't want to go to?
I would go anywhere, really.
Moses Lake.
No, please.
Laugh.
Please don't. Please don't.
Landon's like,
I'm
I've
begging
been there
you.
enough in my life.
I hate Moses Lake. I mean, I go there all the time. It's
Hey, you can hate places you go all the time.
yeah. I drove through there today.
Oof. I'm sorry.
It was fine. It was on my way to the beautiful city of Ephrata, so it was worth it.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's my choice. So
We got Ephrata, Moses
Okay,
Lake.
I'll
and
do
I'm
a Othello.
Please be Ritzville.
Yeah.
Please be Ritzville.
they have a love.
Othello's horrible, man. Like that's yeah.
What's your favorite Central Washington city?
Mattawa?
Ready, go.
Mattawa, please. We could go to the Harvest Foods grocery store in Mattawa, and buy some of like whatever the cow entrails or whatever they're selling in their meat department or whatever.
Yum.
That's like in those like small little towns, they sell like everything from the cow. Like you can like go buy like cow intestines or like cow stomach like lining and stuff.
One of the things that I've always thought was weird is like chicken gizzards are pretty like normalized. I feel like, but like the thought of them makes me kind of squirm. I don't know. I've never had them though, so I can't.
There's just
What
certain
is
things
the
that are
gizzard
terrible.
again?
It's like part
I think
of
it's
your
just, like-
throat or something, right? Right?
I thought it was like chicken guts.
But like which guts? Like that's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah. I don't
I don't know, but like
Chicken.
I have like a
gizzard.
weird like. It makes me think of like a rubbery consistency, and I don't think I could do it.
Yeah. There's just certain things
I'm
I
not-
just don't need to eat. Like
Yeah,
Oh, it's like
I'm willing to
it's
try
like
a
an
lot.
organ.
but
The gizzard, also referred to as the ventriculus, gastric mill, and gigarium, is an organ found in the digestive tract of some animals, including ankylosaurs, earthworms, some gastropods, some fish, and some crustaceans. Yum.
So, like, I understand, like, why people ate that probably, like, you know, a few hundred years ago when, like, food markets come by. But, like, I feel like, yeah, like, we don't need to eat that anymore. Like, and you know what I mean? It's the same. Like, I love how, like, people discovered certain things to eat. Like, what's the thing they do to the ducks where they force feed them?
Foie gras.
Yeah, like, I'm like, who was like the first lunatic to figure out how to do that? Like, they're like,
if we force feed a duck for like its entire life and then slaughter it, it's the best food we've ever tasted.
Yeah, like, I'm like, the guy's like, he's like, now hear me out. Like, they're like, this is wrong what you're doing. So he's like, no, hear me out. It's good. It's really good. Like, yeah.
Have you ever had that foie gras?
No, I'm not like I don't know if I could do it, to be honest. Like, it seems kind of messed up. Like, 'cause I've seen like videos like with like how they like force feed the ducks. I'm like,
I've heard it's like not very cool to do. To the...
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not, you know, yeah, I'm like, that's like.
Landon, if you buy a duck soon, we could do it for Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving. I've been feeding.
Landon's like, I force fed this duck myself.
I force fed him 3 Big Macs a day. Like, yeah, that's like a bridge too far for like animal cruelty for me. Like, it just seems like.
Where's the edge of the cliff where like this animal cruelty is okay, but nothing beyond this?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like we probably treat animals pretty poorly. Like the hamburger I'm probably eating tonight for dinner is probably like the animal probably didn't live like a fulfilling life, but I'm okay with that. But I think it's when like you like start going to like crazy stuff, like what's like veal, like killing like baby cows. Like, I've never tried that.
I've never had veal before,
but like it just doesn't seem. I'm like, that
doesn't seem cool.
It also, well, it doesn't seem cool, and also it just seems like a waste. I'm like, okay, you could just let the cow become like a big cow, and you can get more food.
Yeah, and then you get more food.
A big cow,
which I guess is the opposite of the duck. I mean, you're feeding the duck so it can get bigger. So like,
yeah, which one is it? You hypocrite!
I don't know. Like, I'm so conflicted. Like,
he's like, I want my animal's BMI to be healthy, not too low, not too high.
Yeah. No, the stuff with the ducks though, like that's like messed up because like they're funneling it into their mouths. Like, it's horrible.
It's messed up. Like, but anyway, yeah.
I didn't know
try
that was a
Let's
thing
do that
until like you guys started talking about it, and now I'm gonna have horrible nightmares about these ducks.
I didn't find out about it. I remember discussing it with my my old employer, my old boss at Market Equipment. We had like a 30-minute discussion about it. He was also against it. So everybody has a line in the sand. So
I guess so. Dang.
Interesting.
I don't think like I pretty much eat meat. I think maybe like half my meals, but like I had like a couple days this week where it was like I had like 3 vegetarian meals in a row. It wasn't like intentional or anything, but just happenstance.
Getting soft in your old age.
Yeah, you know. Well, I don't think you're supposed to eat like that much red meat. I think for your health, actually.
Hey.
Red meat. Red meat's actually.
It's you're not supposed to have it.
Hey, don't tell that to my mom.
Wait, why, Landon?
She exclusively eats red meat. That's all she eats.
Have you talked about that on the show?
I don't think I have.
Would you like to share any information?
You know, I mean, we really want to spiral. Like, I mean,
now, when you say she only eats red meat, like not like to a crazy degree, right? She still like seasons it and has like sides with it.
No.
What?
I mean, she eats red meat.
No. Like there'll be salt and pepper, like maybe some rosemary.
Occasionally, she'll
sage,
put salt and pepper on it. For the most part, it's just cooked hamburger meat with either little to no salt. I don't think she does pepper, and then it's like steaks, like ribeyes or like any cut of like beef, and she does not have any kind of seasoning on it. And they're not cooked in butter or anything either. It's like cooked in a sous vide and then like seared without like oil or anything for like a couple minutes.
So she doesn't eat like to have fun, like she's not enjoying her.
No, actually,
meals.
no. She says she enjoys it more than anything else that she's ever eaten.
Well, I believe her.
Yeah. This really like is like we could really unpack. I mean, this could be like an hour-long discussion, but
Well, I actually don't think
it might be a little too personal. Like, it's interesting. They like clear out like supermarkets, like meat sections. Like they like clear them out. Like so.
I mean, I think yeah. The best way to say that is that it's interesting. Yeah, that's
Yeah. My mom does it. My dad does it like. I bet he's like an 80-20. Like he eats other stuff too. So, but I think like yeah, he's probably 80-20 meat to other things. My mom's 100 to 0.
105% sometimes.
Yeah, 105. She's all in.
So like chicken gizzard, like not enough meat for your mom, right? Like it has to be.
Well,
like
she doesn't
beef.
eat. She doesn't eat chicken. She doesn't
like
eat
just
chicken.
beef. Just
she. I would say it's. She eats a little bit of pork. I would say it's 100% meat, and I'm going to say it's probably 90% from like cows, like beef type products.
Does she cook the beef, or does she just dig into it like an animal?
She cooks it.
Okay.
We're one step removed from the like the end point, though. You know what I mean?
How many months until we get to that point?
I don't know. Vegas has got the over under at 7 months, so go ahead and put your bets in. So.
She's one episode of like Naked and Afraid of like watching to be like, you know what? Yeah, I don't think I need to cook this. Like cavemen didn't cook their food, right?
Yeah,
which I think cavemen.
She eats the hamburger. I mean, she's eating the hamburger well done, and I think the steaks. I think they're doing medium.
Did you say well done? Oh, a hamburger.
Well done.
Okay.
Done. Hamburger, yeah, hamburger done.
Yeah.
If she was having the steaks done, I think I would like flip out. Like that would be like even like a bread. I'm like, you can't do this. Like
I've never had like a sous vide steak. Are they?
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan.
Have you made them yourself, or like you've had ones that your parents?
No, I've just had theirs. Like, and they've seasoned it, but it's hard. Like you can't season it because you put it. You know what I mean? It's in a bag that's in essentially hot water for most of the cooking process.
I imagine then there's certain cuts that are like good then for that, but others that you probably like don't want to waste your time with that. I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean they do all kinds of cuts. They like it a lot. For some reason I can't. For like whatever reason, the way they cook it doesn't do it for me. Like I'm more of a fan of like a reverse sear, like, which is kind of the same way as a sous vide, but you're using I guess convection instead of water. But I feel like you can season the meat and then you do a nice sear for the last few minutes with butter and their goodies. So.
Dude, this has been like the food keys.
It's the food keys podcast. It's real talk.
Like no joke.
Is there anything non-food related?
No, there is nothing. There is nothing non-food related.
Food is everything.
Food is everything for tonight's episode.
I do want to talk about non-food related. I finished BoJack Horseman.
Oh, never heard of it.
I feel like, dang it. I feel like I've been updating people as I get closer to the end, and I finished it, I think, on Sunday. Man, that is like a really, like, what a great show.
Yeah.
It's probably a top 5 for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a show that I went into with, like, very, like, minimal expectation. Like, you'd hyped it up, but I didn't really buy it. I'm like, and, like, man, what the level of
Isn't
writing.
it sad?
Yes. I would say it is an exceptionally sad show.
Yeah, I don't think I can handle that right now.
It might actually be the saddest show I've ever watched, like pound for pound. And not only is it like well written, but for a show like a 2D style, like animated show, like the level, like it's some of the best animation I've ever seen. Also, I would say like there is like. It's an animated show, but there's like literally parts where I'm like, this shot is so good. There's a shot. I don't want to get too heavy into spoilers for the show, but there's a shot in like the back half of season 2. I'm going to be very loose with stuff. Like Bojack is teaching at a like Midwestern college and some stuff from his past resurfaces. And it's kind of looking really, really bad for him. Like he's been trying to like clean up his act and kind of like, they're like, all right, we're going to have to deal with this. And he had just like his class had just finished their semester or whatever. And they put on like a what would the term like a
hiatus?
A presentation. They put on like a presentation of their like what they like learned or whatever. And they're waiting for him to come out and give a speech. And there's a shot of him, the door from his office opens and he walks out on the stage, but the camera stays back in his office. I guess not the camera, you know what I mean? But like the way it's animated and the camera lingers. It has him in the shot and it has the character Diane and the character Princess Carolyn, who are kind of like probably the two most influential, like two of the like more influential characters in his life. And you get to watch him give this like really good speech. but it's mostly focused on you're watching these two characters react to what he's saying. And I thought it was just like such an exceptionally like well done, like for just this 2D cartoon.
Yeah.
About a talking horse person. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I feel like there's too many, there's too many like adult animated shows that aren't good. And so whenever there's a new one that comes on, my first thought is, oh, this is just another like cringy adult animated show. And that's why I've waited Bojack for like the first few seasons, because I was like, oh, there's no way this is any good. And then I think I had been listening to another podcast where they had talked about it. They talked about it enough that I finally checked it out. And this was, I think, when season like 4 was the most recent season, either 4 or 5. And so I finally started watching it, and I was like blown away with how well written it was, and just like how great the show was. And it wasn't like I would say other, kind of like typical, like I was expecting like a raunchy, I guess, like adult animated show, which is I'm really not a huge fan of, other than like South Park, but I don't know if I'd consider South Park raunchy as much as I'd consider
South Park
crude. And
like
it's very satirical. Like, a lot of the adult animated shows I like were things more like Futurama, which is very tame, or like The Simpsons, which is even more tame. So like I initially had like avoided the show for a long time until I finally got into it, and once I got like I think what I had originally told people was like the first season I think is kind of like a typical sort of like funny animated show, but I think, and I don't know if this was ever intentional how they conceived the show, but the first season to me feels like it's all working as like a build up to what the real show is about, up to like what the last episode of the first season, based off of all the things that happened with him in the first season of the show, kind of culminate in the season finale of that. And it really sets off and kind of starts what the rest of the show becomes. Because there's not a lot of super depressing stuff in the first season, but you get to the end of that season, it kind of knocks you over, and then I think that's kind of where there's a very distinct paradigm shift. To me, after watching the show again, because I've been watching through it again, trying like as you were doing it, so it's easier for me to remember stuff as I talk to you about it, and I'm convinced that it probably had to be like intentional. The way they set up that show, because I think if they had started off as like sad and depressing and real, I don't think the show would have done as well. I think it would have been too sad from the get-go. I think you needed one season to kind of like get you affiliated with these characters, get you interested enough. And the writing in the first season is still really good. It's just not very depressing. and then you get to the very end of that season, and then from season 2 onward, it's a fairly like kind of
it's a very grim show.
Grim
like,
show, yeah.
Not,
and
like,
there's a lot of like really grim moments, and there's still like a lot of funny things happen to it. Like I still laugh a lot in the rest of the season, but or the rest of the seasons after the first one. But it's such like a I think like it really gets to you. I agree though. It's up there as one of the best television shows that I've seen, and you are really taken back by like this show about this like animated talking horse, which seems like it should probably be like the stupidest show ever.
And it's also like I'm rooting for this character. Like when I don't feel like I should be, but like you're rooting for him. Like you're like you know what I mean. Like you don't want to keep seeing these horrible like I don't know. It's so captivating. Like you're a captive to like all these, and not just the main character, but all the side, like all the other supporting characters have so many good arcs in the show. And not only is it like one of the best shows I've seen, I think it has some of the most standout single episodes.
Yes, yeah.
Like period of any show. I mean, there's
5 or 6, because you sent it was today in Discord. You sent a list, and I was like, and I agreed with pretty much all of those, because like whenever you had got to like one of those episodes, I was always excited to talk to you about them, because they were ones that really stood out to me. And there's a like good chunk of them that really get you and really hit you.
Yeah,
so
I think the second to last episode was horrifying. Like that was like like it was so good, but so like and I probably missed it. It's a show I'm going to rewatch, because I feel like I've even, you know what I mean, it's a show that's over 60 episodes long, I think. I mean, I've definitely already forgotten some of the subplots or some of the episodes, but man, like
there's really not a lot of filler either. Like no. It's fairly dense with what's happening in the show, and how much the characters are interacting with one another. I would recommend it, Colby. I would. Okay. it is like not a. It is a depressing show, but
it's heavy. It's heavy. I like literally like bawled my eyes out during a couple episodes. It's different parts. Like
it doesn't necessarily make you feel bad though, as much as it makes you like empathize and like I think
reflect a little.
Reflect on yourself. Like there are a lot of instances in the show and scenes and certain stuff that like are really good at helping you like feel like there's catharsis that you can apply to your own life. And I don't actually think I can say that about a lot of shows I've seen that you feel like help you understand things you've gone through. And BoJack does that a lot, like a lot. So
okay,
yeah, very, very relatable, very funny. Not too long.
Yeah,
like
it is
like
it is funny
episodes.
too. Like that's another like it is hilarious. Like,
yeah,
but it's just the gut punches come like
yeah. Sounds like a nice change of pace for like adult animation.
I would definitely agree.
Yeah,
and I don't know if maybe it's like paved the way for other shows. I don't know if I've really seen the other adult animated shows that
I haven't watched anything live action or animated that's like anything like this. To be honest, like
how would you compare it to like something like Shameless?
Shameless, maybe the earlier seasons, but Shameless is definitely the writing quality is not
up to par with BoJack.
No, the writing, especially towards like, I mean, that's a show that went too long. I feel like with BoJack, I think they had like a direction where they wanted to go with the show. I don't think Shameless had much direction. So a lot of times with Shameless, like there was like a lot of emotional stuff happening, but sometimes it felt like they were kind of maybe baiting the viewer into feeling certain ways. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't know.
No, like, I understand exactly what you're saying.
BoJack everything feels very earned.
It feels authentic.
It feels like I mean, like for a show that's about animated people and horses and different cats and different, you know what I mean? Like the world feels very real. When they play by a set of rules that seem to, is consistent. Actions that characters do, they have consequences, and like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would love to see other things. I mean, I'm trying to think of other good, animated shows.
I'm trying to think
serious.
like Rick and Morty sometimes has some like serious episodes and undertones, but not anywhere near the extent that BoJack does.
Yeah, and there's still enough like there's silly comical stuff like the character Todd has a lot of more inherently like just comical B plots to stories. But even
I love so many of his lines. Like I watched an episode before we were eating, and just it's when he becomes like the CEO of that one company, like the clock company. Yeah. Like some of his lines are just so funny, like because he is like almost like the jester of this show, and he really though he does have like very interesting developments that happen with him. He's not like necessarily a total fool on the show, but he has some.
He's not a one-dimensional.
Yeah, like, but he's probably like the easiest to like laugh at. I think like on the screen, like maybe in conjunction with like earlier Mr. Peanut Butter. Mr. Peanut Butter gets less and less funny as the show goes along, and his story kind of becomes more and more like depressing / relatable. At certain times. So.
Yeah. I didn't like Mr. Peanut Butter much the first season. I'm like, this guy's annoying. And then like I'm like, oh man, like I feel like I see some stuff of myself sometimes. like damn it.
It's yeah. Anyway, so Colby, we do highly recommend it. If you don't think if you don't think you can handle it, then that's also cool too. Like I don't want to like send you into some horrible spiral because it's not like
pressure me into
yeah. But I think it offers something to appreciate.
Yeah.
Or just watch the first season, stop there, be like, haha, that was a funny show. It's a shame they didn't make more of Funny Horseman.
It's another show also that I feel like went out, like they made just enough of it. Like they didn't like stretch it out and they didn't, you know what I mean? Like,
no, very satisfying for like, for the length and what they, like how they wrap it up. So yeah.
Plus I love that theme, like the intro theme.
Oh yeah. Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up?
I'm hungry.
All right, well, let's go so that
chicken gizzards.
Landon can enjoy his gizzard barbecue, his Memphis gizzards. So
Woo!
Yum, yum. So thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Farewell.
Goodbye.
And thank you for radioing in, Colby.
Live.
I mean, I guess we all are, since none of us are in the same place. But anyway, so thank you for all of us for radioing in. So enjoy.
All well.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Hotkeys podcast. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, CastBox, YouTube, and other podcasting platforms. Visit our website, www.hotkeyspodcast.com. Follow us on Twitter at Hotkeys Podcast and join our Facebook group at facebook.com/HKHotkeys. Please like and review us and subscribe to the show on whichever platforms you use. Finally, you can contact us via email at hosts@hotkeyspodcast.com.